What's up and welcome back, fellow Siege spectators and players. It's another installation of the Siege Double Shot coming at you for the Wild Goose Chase quarterfinals. I am the Reverend Whiskey Glitter, and with me, as always, my partner and co-host, Mr. WhiskeyRun. Say hello, Whiskey.
Like he said, welcome everyone to the Wild Goose Chase. Out of the ashes of a previous league, we are going to finish out the playoffs here. And we're in the quarterfinals with SSG Acad versus Wanted Goons Academy. And I wanted to real quick take you through what the standings look like. So the brackets as it stands, here you go. We've got Wanted Goons, Team Valkyrie, Final Family, Aerial Arise, come up, and then the game that we're casting there at the bottom of the bracket. So we have just got 7 games left, 2 of them taking place tonight. The Wanted Goons game also taking place on the other channel. So we're going to see the quarterfinals tonight, and then figuring out the semis and finals. Still a little bit up in the air, but they're coming up here pretty quick. So go ahead and take a look at the teams, my friend.
Yeah, no kidding. So first one, we're going to take a look at SSG Academy. It's some names you know, and a couple of players that we had a privilege to play with at the Atlanta Major going into that demo. Best and worst maps. I mean, what do you think there, Whiskey?
Chalet being their best, so that's where we are going to start, and then Bank being their worst. We're going to talk about that in a second, but those a couple of important pieces of information there. So that's the SSG ACAD side. Let's go to the Wanted Goons ACAD side.
Well, there you go. Heyo, let's go.
Also, so they're their best. So both feeling very good on Chalet as we walk in. That should make it a really fun match to watch to start off with. So take a look at where the map bans are to start with. Where are we starting, my friend? Chalet. What a place. Going to Sky as that second map, and then Bank as the decider. So with both teams showing Chalet as their best map, and my personal favorite, I'm really excited to see what that first one is going to bring out.
Yeah, I feel like this almost guarantees us all 3 maps. I mean, these 2 teams going head to head. It's names you know. And Whiskey, I don't know about you, but I am ready to get into it. First map we're going to be heading to is going to be Chalet, which is a classic map with some classic strats. Look to see some of that tertiary site play. Well, I guess it's not tertiary. I guess we'll call it the first floor site. Primary, secondary is coming out quite a bit in recent games that we've been watching. So a lot of verticality to be had. I'm excited for it. Chalet, you said it's one of your favorite maps. It's one of my favorite maps as well. The interesting, I think, what will be the telling part of this is what are we seeing on the bands?
Great question, my friend. So as we roll in, here we go. Now, bands for Chalet, right? I'd say normally we see the basics. We see that Dokubi, we see the Ying, but occasionally they throw us a little bit of a curveball. That first one going to be Capital.
Yeah, first curveball on the board. No fire, no smoke, no hard breach to be had here, and that means that potentially we're going to be seeing some strong library holds, because that's one of the things that we bring him along for, is to chase out that operator that sits in the corner of library, holding that power position, and dictating the verticality there. Brava the next one, so 2 out the gate that we never get to see. What does that mean? Does that mean we're going to have some crazy util on the board?
I think so. It's going to be. That's just going to make the library very interesting to play in. And we saw some incredible Brava play coming out of specifically we saw on the Wanted Goods Academy side, but also just some great Brava play as part of the 6 Invitational. So I'm wondering whether or not any of that got picked up. But continuing on with the Soulless and the Fenrir, very typical bands there as we roll in. So feel pretty comfortable about that. The interesting part, that Capital and Brava to start off with.
I'm a big fan. That means we're going to see some different stuff. You're going to have to make a couple of different workarounds to get that same objective done. It is going to be kitchen dining as we start our first site, and as you can see, some dedicated top control going to be had as Castle
Attackers need
and
to locate and defuse as many bombs
both
as they
utilize
can.
here to slow you down, right? right? One of the key focuses of being on the defense is wasting that time and setting the pace against that attacking team. If you can control the pace, you can control the round, and then time will play in your favor. A zombie and Castle are really great operators to do just that.
Yeah, and taking a look at that rest, the Legion, the trap ops coming out as well. Love to see that. And there was a lot of discussion, I think, during SI and even in some of the other leagues we've been a part of about whether or not that first floor chalet is that primary. And I think we're continuing to see that be the primary location brought out. But I love seeing the extra traps brought out with the intel. So this is definitely a lineup I think that is pretty standard for that first floor chalet site play.
Yeah, and bringing a bit of an interesting pick here. Well, not interesting. I mean, it's fairly standard for chalet as far as, you know, bringing the IQ to suss out where the heck those mountain camps are going to be at, lying for that roam to help suss out. But generally, ooh, first one going to be found. Folk will get his dome piece ripped off, and that's the hard breach. That's a tough operator to lose, especially since there is zero other applications to be used here by the rest of the attacking team to open it up. It's door time.
No can openers, nothing from a hard breach perspective. That is really tough. Really, you see the teams try and focus on getting that the 2F hard breach window or close to the mezzanine window, and then downstairs, Panda's already holding that position now, knowing that it's very safe. The only thing he's got to worry about is vertical, but without the hard breach to open the floor, the wall right above that, it's gonna be tough to get Legion out of that position. They're gonna have to rely on potentially the Zofia and maybe the Lion to know exactly where he's playing at to try and get some shots, but they really made this difficult on SSG to start with.
Yeah, we would like to highlight though 6 nades on the board, so even though the nade buff is real, still finding interesting ways to use them and to be able to dislodge some players out of their current positions. Give yourself time to get a couple of shots in.
Look at this. Zolaris playing downstairs, gonna hopefully find this flank and that playing in the corner. Legion doing exactly what we expected him to do, holding that power position, but he's gonna go for a Pokeball and lose it. So they've got one that's in sight now. Gonna see this defense try and push their way back up. They've got 4 versus 2, so it's definitely in favor of the defense here.
Not only that, time starts to dwindle down here. It's for SSG. It's gonna be a C4 to really mark that dominance being scored here in round number 1. Got to try to deal with this deployable. It's all on the shoulders of Jet time. If anybody can do it in a 1v4, it's not going to be hit this time.
Oh, he could definitely do it.
Yeah, he could do it 100%. We have seen that before. Okay, so round 1.
That's right.
Plays
One done to the defense, and it's expected that we would see the defense win it. I think the interesting part here to me is that they're going 2F instead of the other first floor site. That to me feels interesting.
Yeah. Switch it up, which is funny to say. The 2F Defend up top and bring out some familiar faces. Zombie going to be utilizing him along with the Valkyrie and the Legion. Zombie. A couple of switch outs here. Web bringing out the Mira, and of course the mute to stop that intel, which is of course so present in today's siege style.
Yeah, but bringing out the Mira in addition there, Web, that's a great call here for this. Again, very typical lineup. We're not seeing them try anything crazy, but of course we are talking about $1,500 on the line here for the prize pool in this league. So would we expect them to try something crazy here in the playoffs? It is a single elimination bracket, so in this best of 3, the winner moves on, the loser goes home, leaves with nothing. So both of these teams definitely wanting to find a piece of that cash.
So gonna offer the Habana this time instead of the Ace for the hard punch. Like operator. It'd be great for getting rid of some of that util, maybe dislodge some of those players, maybe that Mira or the Azami outside of the protective barricades that they both will probably be sitting behind. But nothing specifically outside of the Habana to deal with the no hash or Twitch on the board. I like bringing up a couple of different opts, maybe a little verticality from the buck underneath.
It is interesting that they didn't bring along somebody to deal with the as additional, I suppose, in addition to Habana to try and manage the Mira, because you really still, even with the really that nerf that she got, it's still, you have to bring somebody to try and deal with it. It's so close to a kill on the blue stairs, but going to get fragged through a double wall there, a double wall breach. Great shot from the attacker.
Yep, now puts us into a 4v3 as Mira has been down potentially. Didn't see where she got downed at, so potentially recoverable. But body balance is sitting in favor of SSG.
Aim key.
Sends out his D4, doesn't find anything. Now into a 3v2. Oh my lord, into a 3v1. All resting on the shoulders of Mute. Still does have a C4 in hand. And that Mira, yep, not going to be recoverable. So it's going to be up to some individual heroics here as Webb finally gets that kill confirmed on him.
Oh!
Takes a shot over the piano window. Just the siege timing of it. Looks away and unfortunately gets his head ripped right off.
Yeah, it looked like he had a shot on Jetcom playing outside the window, but didn't take it. But that was going to be a tough spot to be. He would have had to definitely get the kill and then try and push into the hallway on blue stairs there. But missing the Flores to start off with, that was tough. We are going to see the first floor site come out now here as we make the round rotate, basically, with the exception of the basement. Still favoring the first and second floor over that basement side.
Yeah. And understandable, right? We just have talked about it, that there's just so many ways to get into that basement, so much access that you have to guard against, and it just either spreads out your utility or spreads out your mana. So, off for that first floor. We are going to see the Mira being brought out yet again. Highlight player here this time being Malusi, somebody we have seen a tremendous amount lately. Is it the rise of the Malusi? Is she back?
I think so. Based on what we've seen, the defending teams want to try and find a way to slow down the attackers in what potentially is the very last of sort of the run and gun meta, right? With all of the new changes that were introduced for Year 9 Season 1, trying to slow down that style of play and more into the tactical side of Siege. So whether or not she'll continue to be one of the important operators rolling into the next season, we're only about 2 weeks away from seeing how that's going to play out. And I think we have seen more players already start to adopt the 2.5, the ACOG, in preparation for its expanded uses across the lineups in both attacking and defenders.
All right, this time the tag team does bring out somebody to say hello to the Mira. It's going to be the Twitch drone on the board, trying to do a little sniper shot. So he does get some intel. Is Dope B going to try to find somebody from the roof there? Kind of a devastating angle there, but a zombie with the key very locked down their positions. Nope. They're going to take a couple of shots and set up that flank controls. The gridlock is going to start to get active. Still tied up here, Whiskey. 5-all. As the first minute has already dwindled down.
Yeah, that first minute, well, we're almost halfway through this round. Still 5 stacked apiece. Just seeing Aim Key working upstairs in the office area. Get a little bit of a rotate set up as they get themselves ready for this eventual push in. Got to try and clear out some of this upper area and try and get an angle onto that blue stairs and from the mezzanine as well. So we saw a long angle from the defense in that area previously. So being very careful as he pushes in through that piano angle and on this side.
Gonna start to open up some of those sight lines down that main hallway. Trying to start to gain some of this up top real estate that is so coveted here on the smart gaming site. There's gonna be the DMR ringing out. JetCon gonna find their first. It's a zombie. Ooh, the zombie goes down. Please follow by afterwards, and now Malusi down as well, and it all comes down to Webb in a 1v5 scenario, left alone in the library. That last kill gets confirmed.
The Dokkaebi call coming out. They for sure know where he's at, and Focal is going to be the one to finish out that flawless round. But just great positioning there by the SSG side. They got quick control of the whole Masters side, the Solar side. Good positioning in place. They're playing Chalet aggressively from an attacking perspective. Yeah, we saw the Goons win the first, but I really feel like SSG has been setting the pace and setting the tone for the game in those last 2 rounds, culminating in that flawless.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being
So
defused
as the
by
round
attack.
rotate is done, the first 3 gone, we're going to see kitchen dining yet again. And as you said it, right, we need to dictate the pace on the defense. Well, they brought it back out. Every single operator on the board designed to slow you down. We talk about Frost being utilized almost every single time that we see Chalet, not because of the exceptional uses of the Frost mats. It's just one of those staples, force you to look down before you jump in. And split-second timing, that can of course mean all the difference, especially when you have the Malusi and the Legion on board, the cheeky peaks of the Asami and the funneling of the castle. This is a good defense here for kitchen dining.
Attacker's objective is to defuse a bomb.
I like it, and the interesting thing is we're continuing to see the SSG team stick with just one hard breach, right? No can openers, no alternatives, so they're sticking with that roam clear and that distraction from Ying, but if Focal goes down again early, going to be trouble because, again, the only hard breach that they're bringing, they have some operators with options, just not choosing to use them here on Chalet.
Yeah, bringing out the burn potential as we've got 6 flashes, 2 nades, 2 smokes, and 2 EMPs. A wide variety of notables here on the attacker side. That's going to be the Dokkaebi off the board. That's the intel, and that's a huge pick. That's the DMR and the frag leader for SSG off the board. That's going to give body balance tipped over in favor of the Goons Academy. They find one in the first minute.
Well, protecting all of the defender cams, and everyone hates that phone call. I mean, the number of times I've heard people complain about Dokkaebi and the number of times that she's banned, really unbelievable. But what a run out from Zolaris. See them play much more aggressively on the defensive side. I love it.
Yeah, and that's going to be another call is, oh my gosh, the Goons are actually having quite a great round. They are just got the hold. He doesn't even care about the bees. He says, no me. It's fine. It's a 5 beat now.
Using it as a bit of a distraction there, right? Letting the player out on rappel know that Webb is sitting there holding that position, but trying to get the attacker on rappel to get into view, and they're gonna take him down up JetCon. What a shot there, but sort of using him as bait downstairs. I liked it, right? Use the bees against the attackers.
You got the verticality being held strong here, and they're gonna have to potentially find another way in. Possible distraction from made out of 4v2. We've got 60 seconds left on the board, and it's gonna be Grim to take a bunch of damage, but able to survive. He's gonna take the scenic route and try to find himself another way in. Got to find another cheeky peeky, and with that, it's back out the door as they try to regroup. Find a pick here to even those numbers up here in the last 40 seconds.
Yeah, with Frost holding that tight angle on West Main, and there it is. That proximity alarm giving away his location, but gonna hit an unfortunate Legion Goo there. Gonna take him down to half. He's got one. I was gonna say he had one Finka boost left. Not gonna get a chance to use it though. Solaris taking him down as well. A great round there, and boy, they made me, they cast or cursed my comments right off the board by saying, yeah, SSG was setting the pace very clearly on those next 2 rounds, but they absolutely came back swinging there and showed why they belong here in this quarterfinal, winning the second one. I think even though it came down a bit to the wire, it felt very decisive in the mid-round there.
Yeah,
attackers
absolutely.
need to locate and defuse as many bombs.
4v2. Couple of kills later, it takes us tied up into a 2-2 as we head into 5. Now, we talk about this being a defensive-sided map, Whiskey. Is the Goons Academy feeling the heat, right? Because now SSG has already hit their quota. They've already hit their 2. Anything outside of this is basically setting them up for their defensive half. Going to 2F as they try to next round out. brings some more of that slowdown.
Yep, didn't opt for the castle for any of that that sort of slowdown extension, but I like this setup that we're seeing teams do with basically opening up the T wall into mezzanine there, because it gives you a long shot through from the half wall plant, from that, like, the piano door. Just gives a lot of angles. And look at this, spawn peeking again, continuing to be aggressive, and it works. Vile falling from the spawn peak.
Yeah, that means that those mute jammers are going to remain undetected. This body bounce going to be shifted in favor of Goons Academy. And that was a huge pick. That's going to take Frank Leader off the board early yet again. Count that as a win here for Goons Academy, starting out on the right foot. No refrag in place.
100%, and without, they do have the mute, but that was interesting. They had a good angle, or good cams in place covering the mezzanine there. That is really going to put this the defending team a little bit on the back foot if they can figure out how to convert that intel into kills and hopefully a round win. But it didn't look like Warden even knew that he had a cam directly behind him.
They got my boy.
Just as Flores suspected, there is going to be the hold on the mirror, so his first drone going to get taken off. Oh, his second drone going to get taken off the board. Find a way to get that in that dislodges this Warden
Lights on.
from this mirror area, because we're sitting in a pretty unfortunate now. Game Candel's going in, and a bunch of flashes as they just push in towards blue. It's going to be the rotate down. Got some control now as they take a shot into library. Takes us into a 3-3 as the last minute and 24 starting to tick away. And now it's going to take another look in the midst of the battle with Webb just right above him, holding into this closet area. I don't know if he's detected or not. He's not. He's going to find
What a double. Let's go.
Holy cow. Takes us into a 1v3. Ooh, all on the shoulders of folks.
Oh, and a triple to finish it off. Webb going absolutely crazy there with the Vector. Great intel coming out. You see the yellow ping pop up, but on the back of some great intel. So Ying being able to hop in. They knew Warden was playing behind the mirror window on that mezzanine hold, but she was able to push down the stairs and eventually traded there. But that was huge to be able to. They knew where Warden was, didn't have to worry about that as Ying pushed in. So good use of intel there on the attackers, but like we said, just not able to convert that into a round win as Webb completely shut them down with that Vector.
Heads up play by Webb. Elvis had the patience and then executed, finding the triple at the end to take them up in the scoreline by 1. As we find ourselves in the round number 6, last round of the first half of the first map. We are going to see that first floor side again, and we're going to go inside of the intels. Valkyrie going to come out. Still going to hold on to that Mira.
10 seconds to go.
All here on hard. No Capitao here. Feed activated. So I wonder if that's going to be a pretty good.
The other thing that they didn't bring any of the projectile deny, so I don't expect that they're going to have, no one's going to play in that library corner and try and hold that position. Going to try and hold it from the Azami and the Mira instead, and not play deep in that corner. It's a strategy we've seen work really well, but you know, I guess it's reload. We have seen that the dock in the corner sort of fall out of style, but it's interesting they chose not to play it with the Capital not on the board.
Yeah, it just proved it's just a player they didn't want to find. It's going to be Pandasaur is going to find one as the Legion comes up. The body bounce tipped in favor of the Goons Academy here. No trade on the board, which means that it's going to be a good entry pick. Gridlock off the board, and it's Vile dying again. That is just unfortunate. Having seen, I think, 3 deaths in a row.
Yeah, I think that was, yeah, Vil was the opening pick 3 times there in a row, but Aimkey, ouch, gonna take down Valk. 2-4-2, continuing to be an important part of the team, but all of that passive util down. So at least the rest of the team, as long as Dokkaebi is not able to steal that utility, that's a big piece. They've got to find out whether or not Jetcon's in a position to take the intel from Valkyrie.
still a strong hold as Azami gets more and more time to dig in with those Kiva barriers. It is a timed gadget. Ooh, Enki gonna get ripped off the board, absolutely deleted as we now find ourselves into a 4v3. The return, the DMR to claim Amira, and that was their clutch player of a round ago. Now takes us into 3-3 with 1 minute and 10 left on the board.
Running that ACOG, getting ready for the new meta rolling in. Jetcon is ready for it. 6-3, having a great round there. Dokkaebi rarely on the board, certainly taking advantage of it at this point because she's not banned out in favor of the Capital Brava.
45 seconds left on the board. We still sit in a 3-3 here. It does start to favor the defense. They're going to open up into that closet. Some charge is going to get taken off the board. One left, still uses distraction bait to get in, and it's going to be Dokkaebi pushing in. Going to find one, but it is going to get it traded out again as the DMR going to start ringing out. Now to a 2v1 as it's all on the shoulders of Legion underneath, ready to take this comeback, hoping they can find something a little bit sneaky just outside of sight. There's the drop down.
Did not know Panda was playing right at the top of the stairs. Jetcon's gonna try and go hunting, but he's got to get this plant down. Is he in a position here? Yes. Oh no! Got off the diffuser at the last second for a defender win. Oh, the timing was gonna be so close on that one.
Yep, and opted to take the swing instead. Last time said, nay, get behind me. And that was going to be the last round of the half. Takes us into a 4-2 split. As we're going to see now SSG's defensive half and what they're bringing to the table. We're going to continue that first floor agenda. As I mean, yeah, we watched it switch. This is the way we see Chalet played just about.
Attackers need to locate and
always
defuse
now
as many bombs as they can.
Chalet siege first floor. Camera ready. Verticality. Many of the same options.
Man, I love that Malusi placement in the plants there. As far down as you can go, so you're not caught in it until potentially you're in a position to be using the feet holes to take advantage of you. So I really like that placement there. And yeah, you called it out when we were sitting 2-2 that SSG Acad had already caught themselves the default half from an attacking perspective, and it was all up to the Goons to come up with a pair of defensive wins to try and set that standard half, and they absolutely pulled it off and looked good doing it too on the back of some more aggressive defensive play. So I really liked seeing them change up that style a little bit and be more aggressive, matching SSG's play style. It was a great adaptation.
Lara's going to bring Callie on the board. I love the Callie pick. It's the long range. It's taking that. It's the quick shots onto mezzanine from that library double or potentially from that mez area. I love when the Callie gets picked out. There it is. You hear that rifle ringing out. A couple of fun operators for this attack team, though, right? Ying on the board. We don't get to see Ying and Dokkaebi too often. So it's a zombie backing up. She's gonna nope her way out of there and try to live another day. Hiding now. Web trying to find him. Explosion starting to ring out.
Getting you eyes on the hostiles.
Panda holding that angle. Long angle there from that rappel, seeing the Nomad play. That's a really typical position, and just rappels all over the place, putting a little bit of pressure on Jetcon. Does not seem to be worried though. Trev gonna take out the big window rappel. Panda going down there, gonna try for a flash to get him out of that location, but no, gonna hold on. Seeing Webb just being a menace downstairs on the trophy room.
Yep, being a menace, but still outside. Ooh, a bit of a miss on the Ying. Down and flashes the homies instead. They send it onto the stairs. Nobody running from that, though, so the cross not going to be effective. And there's the double. Trev Mark finding two. Now puts us into a 5v2 situation. All resting on the shoulders of Webb and Zalars. So they need to come up with a couple here to equalize that man count.
taking a couple shots on that. The master window there, but no, Focal taking out Webb as he tried to rotate back around, and Solaris holding on, but knew that she was going to peek that one.
Geez, so now 30 seconds left. Been some individual heroics needed here for Solaris. Going to take a long peek here.
Goes for the cam, unfortunately taken down by the gun. Just a little bit of siege timing there. Hopped in the window, was ready for it, and fell apart as he went for the cam. Yeah, a little bit of siege timing. Okay.
All right. Yep, that gets us a little bit closer in the score line and sticks to that defensive-sided nature of Chalet that we've come to know and love. I mean, I could see this definitely playing out 4-2 on both sides. Only taking on that tertiary site, seeing this on some
Defenders,
overtime for
protect
the
your
very
bombs
first
from being
map.
defused by attackers.
All these players are just fine.
Well, like you called it, it's a battle of the ACADs at the beginning, but both of them, you know, the academy teams for two great organizations, so SSG and the Wanna Goons. To be able to see both of them playing together, fighting it out, like we said, this is the Wild Goose Chase. If you're just joining us, it's a best of three as we try and find out who is going to take over this this $1,500 prize pool, 1,000 for first, 500 for second, as we try and close out the league that fell apart. Turned into the Wild Goose Chase, and glad that both of these teams are here fighting for the money.
Here's what I like to see here: is the defense heading into that 2F location. Yeah, 2F location, and we're still bringing the same operators across the board. We're still using that same potentially could be the difference maker here. We've got some aggressive operators on the board, but they're not letting any room to work. Found themselves on a big back foot. Here's a great big equalizer though. Monty getting active quick inside the lobby. Be taking a peek pretty early, just pushing on in. He's gonna go for some of that top medicine goal.
I mean, when you've got the shield and a little bit of intel to know that it was safe to push up these stairs, I mean, we saw a ton of Monty play as part of SI again, and we're going to see teams adapt and playing more of the shield, as it's going to be such a big part of that year 9, the shield rework coming. So we've consistently seen the competitive teams, right? We know that the changes aren't embargoed, they're not blacklisted. We're going to get to see everybody getting a chance to take advantage of those changes immediately. So here from this team, starting to use all of the pieces of that new season coming out as they can.
Very low HP scenario. A zombie getting stairs. Oh my lord, the craziness of taking out the barricade there. Why she was so close. She does like to lose their life. Don't be on a low health scenario. They start to ring out. That is now as well. A zombie, they're going to get the crossfire set up on the Monty, and now puts us into a 4v2, a 4v1 as it all sits on the shoulders of Ace, who does find and collect himself one. Put himself in a precarious situation here with 1v3. Still a minute left, though. Plenty of time for him to isolate some of these players if they intend to potentially throw a few bodies his way. There is some low health scenarios on the board here, Whiskey.
Yeah, he's got some options. No more utility left, so not going to be able to open anything up apart what he's bringing out along with the gun. He still has one more of those, one more of the claymores, but I don't know that he's going to be in position to need or worry about a flank here at this point. But if he can take a couple shots, seeing the defense holding down that bathroom spot very carefully, and I thought maybe he was going to plant half wall, but no, he's going to push up and then hope that somebody's going to peek. They are not. They're going to hold on, just continue to hold those angles like pros. Focal going to be the one to get it. That intel coming out, so not knowing exactly where the Valcam was, the fact that he was likely on ping the entire time.
Yep, that was a really great round by the defense as they tie us up, headed into round number 9. Getting a little bit closer here to the end of map number 1. And if you're just joining us, it's the Wild Goose Chase. 4-4 tied up. SSG Academy taking on Goons Academy, and we're in the back half of the map. This has been exactly what you want to see.
Indeed, my friend.
Okay, let's talk about a defense on the board. That bar game is set up. One operator, no mirror here. I like it. A little bit of variety here. So double shotty action instead. The mute and smoke. And then one of the highlight picks here, I think, is Oryx. Treadmack will bring out Oryx.
10 seconds left before insertion.
Side play and really try to stall him out.
5 seconds
The
left.
idea being, right, get a kill, get yourself back to side, pull down for the trade.
Attackers are heading out of the bomb. Attackers drop the bomb. Attackers recover.
Yeah, that's
Oryx
the smoke and the mute coming out, not the dueling shotgun, so we're gonna see smoke with that FMG9. But interesting, we had not seen a lot of projectile deny played out here on Chalet, which is interesting. That's typically an important part of the approach from both of the teams. The Jaeger coming out here is one of the first time we've seen some of that. So continuing to bring that the Dokkaebi though is an important part of the attacking lineup, but that Twitch. Love seeing the Twitch to be able to clear out some of this util, but the fact that they brought along the mute gonna make her have to work a little bit harder to try and gain some of that intel. And having the Monty on the board again, just it feels like it preparing, getting themselves ready for the shield rework, and Smoke trying to bracket Monty. Not gonna happen though.
Oh man, that's all the smokes off the board. He's gonna lose his life. That's 10 and 5 Necron off the board. As a couple are gonna ring out for here. They find the third as it works on the rotate. Now, finally, the trade back to get the switch off the board. All this down to
Jeez.
Situation. Does some damage, but it's going to be the Monty closing in your face. Pistol popping, body dropping. He's going to take that.
That was the same play he tried to pull off against the Azami playing on the stairs in the previous round, but was unable to, lost his life early. This time, he's able to get the kill at the top of blue and hold on there, give the Goons Academy team a win there, and they go up just again 5-4 as we head into round 10. They're having this is an incredible back and forth game already.
Yeah, no kidding. So it's adapt, react, and we're going to see some more of that. We're going to see
defenders protect your bombs from being defused
here
by
in the late
attackers.
Round. This could be a great pick. I love when we see them hide the cap can until the round gets started. But I guess this might be potentially why we saw them have it taken off the board. They intended to fully use the capabilities of cap can as we head down for the first time.
The first time, so as we head into round 10, this is the first time we're seeing the basement site.
I think so.
Let's go.
I'm with it. So, in staying with tradition, we are going to see mostly the contemporary setup by the attacking team, Callie and Thermite on the board to help deal with that bandit. He's going to try his best to stay tricking. But the ramp, here's the contemporary portion of this new push. Ramp, just open up that entire siege the last couple of seasons. You see that Ram has got 3 gadgets that up the entire floor. That's going to be the first thermite. Now, it's going to make it a little bit tougher to start bandit tricking once this floor is opened up, because then verticality is going to be add-on. Choose between his life and holding that wall.
Well, he went early, and Thermite loses that first exothermic. They didn't have the floor open. We're not able to put that downward pressure on the bandit. I thought they got a drone and saw that bandit was sitting right there ready for the trick, but Thermite went for it anyway. So he lost one of them. He still got one left, but it's interesting. I thought they had identified that that's exactly where JetCon was sitting. So gonna have to try and make this push upstairs, clearing out this some of this 2F play.
Yeah, that's gonna be the first to fall as Orc is off the board. Body bounce over the probably gonna get sussed out. Gonna take care of that game pretty quickly. Here's one that here's the big highlight. We're still holding that first floor area. Just have the hatch open so he can fall back to sight. But really, he's stalking and he's doing a great job of it.
Planted.
The question is, does Webb know that he's there?
Reload.
Well, both Trev and Vil holding those 1F sites. Oh, actually upstairs in 2F. This is gonna hit the air jab, but not gonna be able to take advantage of it. Webb knew that the air jab went off, obviously, close enough to hear it, but not in a position to be able to push Capcan just a little bit too far away. I'm sure that the team knows that you've got Capcan on the board from a defensive perspective, so they're going to have to be checking all of those doorways, but that right there I think was a great example of Nomad didn't try and push it, had to hold back and just be careful that they knew if the Capcans were on the door, we should push through.
Now it's all onto the shoulders of Zolaris. As he is, gonna almost find it. There's one off the board, gets a little bit closer in the scoreline, but the cross is set up and ready. Gonna take body shots.
10 seconds left. 10 seconds to go.
Around
5 seconds remaining.
You know, I think we said it at the beginning of the stream, but just in case you're just joining us, I know we've got a few more with us. This is a charity stream. We are donating all of the proceeds, the subs, the donations, the bits, the ad revenue to the admins of the ZCL League who have happily and amazingly set up the Wild Goose Chase to be able to have the players from all of the teams involved finish out the season the way it should be. And so just wanted to let everyone know again, we appreciate the admins of that league and happy to support them as part of this charity stream here on the SiegeDoubleShot. So any and all revenue from the streams for Wild Goose Chase going back to those admins. We appreciate you guys for running this league, giving the players a chance to earn the money that they deserve.
Indeed, here, amen. He said it, folks. Okay, so we sit tied up here at 5-5. We had to round it down on that. It's going to be that targeting defense. And we obviously are on the board.
5 seconds to go.
And again, with the smoke and mute combo, but yet again,
Attackers are moving to defuse the bomb.
instead of the shotgun. Now, we didn't talk about that as a potential possibility. Seeing a bit more roaming use the smokes trying to take that Monty off.
Activating silent sequence.
Attackers drop the diffuser.
Loading mag!
That verticality. We're gonna have operators inside here. Kind of hurry up and wait scenario.
Yeah, you get yourself into that hurry up and wait. We are still only less than a minute into this round, so got the defense trying to hold these positions, holding the angles that they know from Chalet here, and just listen to that DMR ringing out. I think as we see more players on the attacking side have access to those high magnification scopes, definitely going to change up the way that the game is played.
Dropping mag.
Yes, ready. We do sit 5-all, no real contest ringing out. One member on SSG sitting in that double-digit JetCon, just having a phenomenal game here. Yes, that's going to be the Goons win condition, right? Take that score or potentially get themselves set up to win the round. I love having the Ying. Honestly, we don't get to see her played near often enough. And it can sometimes be just the absolute difference.
I mean, that's what we've seen from both of these teams on both of the attacking side. Ying and Dokkaebi making appearances in nearly every attacking round. I mean, part of the reason that they're banned out so frequently is when they're available and on the board, definitely making themselves apparent. So the same from on the defensive side, seeing the Valkyrie and the Mira come out most of those rounds, but they're opting a little bit for, wow, that projectile deny, but the thing they couldn't deny, Ying shooting in through the window, and Goons taking a double here, putting themselves up in a 4-2 body count with the last 35 seconds rolling off.
Yep, that's right, but they got to contend with the shotgun. Animal is still alive here in this last 25, so yes, they're up in the man count, but do they have the fortitude to get through here? King Candel's going off, and that's it for the plant. Now we find ourselves in a 3v2. Maybe gonna find one. Ooh, find another. Now takes us into a 2-2, but it's a post-plant snare down to a 1v1. A good old-fashioned showdown here. Ooh, man, the siege timing is it takes a shot, web over long angle, and he's gonna get his head ripped off. We are gonna find that kill and gonna put SSG up in the scoreline. What a shot!
I was about to say earlier in this round that we really had not seen very many plants go down, right? We saw the attempt from Ace on one of the previous rounds there, but that was really it. Very few plants, basically going for all kills at this point. And then match point.
Match point scenario. One away from tying it up is Goons Academy trying to hold on to map number 1. SSG 1 round away from taking this first one. And yeah, it's been a back and forth. So on
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
First, gonna be the one to take it. That's that slow down city here. I think it's a good call because they're showing Monty on the board. Bring it across. A couple of funneling off to the castle. This is exactly what they need. This has been a defense that they know has worked.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, the slowdown, like you called it out. Malusi, Castle, add in a couple traps, plus the mute, gatekeep, and an important part there with the mute jammers coming out, trying to deny the one at Goons Academy some of that intel, but Pandasaurus continuing to bring out the Monty, continuing to push that Latam playstyle, and the Tokubi and the Ying both making an appearance again. It's crazy how defined the lineup can be depending on who is available on the board, and they're definitely making it difficult. And this is the round that they've got one left, one more opportunity to find a way to push this thing to overtime. Otherwise, SSG is going to take map 1 as we move in. Skyscraper is the next.
Of course, that's a defensive favored map, but between teams of this caliber,
Attackers have located a bomb.
but first, they gotta get through map number 1 here. First minute off the board as Drone's doing what they do. Really trying to suss out where the heck these defenders are. They know where a zombie is.
That's right, continuing to push in. They've got a little bit of opening there. Monty trying to find a position in. They've got themselves set up, trying to gain this vertical control oversight. There's the thermite coming out with 1:44 left in the round. Zalaris takes a few shots in through the window, trying to gain some ground, some cover fire there for Monty.
Yeah, but he's still taking that forward aggression, not deterred as he's facing down this deployable shield. Trevmac ready to take the engagement. Got the cross set up from 3 different directions here, so if he gets pushed out, if he gets dislodged, it's gonna spell disaster unless his flick is on point.
The Dokubi call just echoing all over the second floor of Chalet, and there is the Yin Candelas coming out. You're gonna see Jetcon and Volspar do a little bit of trading there, each winning one. So at a minute left exactly, 4-4. Try and find out who is going to push. Is it going to be SSG sending us to Skyscraper, or the Wantagoon's going to send us to overtime?
Right, Monty pushing in. We're going to start to go for that plan. It is going to be aimed to find Webb off the board. 40 seconds left.
Need another smoke. No, it flashes Monty. That's unfortunate. I don't think there's no no C4s on the board are left available, so all they got to do is get the plant down, but Panda loses his life in the battle. That's unfortunate. That's diffuser down. It is all up to Akash, and SSG Acad on the defense side wins map 1. Chalet taking down the Goons Academy from map 1 in this best of 3. We're going to Skyscraper, my friend.
That's right. First map down and away with, and it's going to go in the hands of SSG Academy, putting Goons Academy a bit on the back foot as we head into map number 2. So sit back, relax, folks, fill your drinks up to the tippy top, because when we come back, we're getting a second map. Ayo. What's up, and welcome back, fellow Siege spectators and players. If you're just joining us, well, welcome. This is the Wild Goose Chase, and we are in the quarterfinals. I'm still the Reverend WhiskeyGlitter, and with me, as always, my partner and co-host, Mr. WhiskeyRun. What you think, Whiskey?
I love that that the stinger that the Wild Goose Chase admin staff made, the prod staff. They just having a great time with it, having fun with Siege, and that's what it is. It's a game. We take it seriously, but also love to have fun with it too. So, like we said, this is a charity stream. We're having all of the proceeds from the subs, the ads, the donations, all going to the former ZCL admin staff that has created the Wild Goose Chase here to finish out what was a fantastic season with a $1,500 prize pool. And as we roll into the playoffs, we're going to see SSG Acad take on the Wanted Goons Acad team, and both having a great time. So really looking forward to seeing what we're going to bring up. And I think we are ready, my friend.
You're right. Skyscraper map number 2. The bands were telling. On map number 1 is the Capitan Bravo rang out. I expect this to be no different as far as bands go. Something potentially a little, unless they didn't like all of the Ying Dokkaebi play that we just had out of both sides. Yeah.
That's a good question. Yeah, there she is. Dokkaebi coming out, decided that, yeah, she's annoying to play against as a defense. Obviously, the attacking teams love to take advantage of her. She's just so annoying. That's why you see her banned out just continuously.
Yeah. Now, there's a fun pick as Thermite's going to get taken off the board. Going to leave him down to a couple of key hard breachers, Ace and Habana, being the main proprietors of such entries. So still got a bit of an off pick here by the Goons Academy, and I like it. A zombie going to be the next to fall. She was huge in that last round. Just absolute trench warfares and these cheeky little angles, allowing SSG Academy to get some really great kills. So going to be banned out. Do we see the Fenrir or the Soulless next?
Nailed it. Nailed it. Fenrir going down as that final ban. So the Dokkaebi, the Thermite, definitely the interesting one. Azami, though, I think that was the other thing, just very annoying to deal with from a defensive standpoint or from an attacking standpoint on both teams. So really not surprising to see both of those off the board. So the only interesting there was Thermite, but you could see how much the Capital Brava picks really influenced that last game. So the fact that we're seeing a little bit more of a standard reflects the fact that we saw just a lot of unwillingness to deal with what we saw there.
So, we're head up to the defense here and see where we're taking it. Standard first dice, team karaoke going to be what's seen first. Here's the highlight pick here, the defense, though. We saw her banned out on the last round. It's going to be the Soulless on board now. Especially for a map like this, it is already difficult to get inside of Skyscraper. It's already difficult to take that real estate because of it being so close quarter, because of it being so small and compact. Adding the Soulless to the mix is really going to change the deal here, right? Potential for the runouts based on seeing somebody on their phone. No flank drones to be had or utilized here, and already look, we're seeing her get ready for a potential runout.
Oh, I love seeing that level of aggression from this team, but wow, the shot taken as the attackers are walking up, but they heard that Claymore go out, so it was going to confirm location of it. So whether or not she's going to be able to clear it, I thought we were going to potentially see a run out, but just great intel there. She's going to have to jump out, shoot the Claymore, and then go for the repeller, but going to walk around and try an alternative hold here from a defensive perspective and not push that with the Claymore in place.
Yeah, no kidding. They push that Claymore and win. I don't know. Retiring. That's going to be one of the worst things I ever saw. Warden going to be the first taken off the board, and that's going to be Jet Khan, one of the impact players from the last round. And it's going to get traded out as we're going to see Ying. So both the Warden and the Ying off the board, which means we can commence with regular gameplay now. 4-4 we sit inside the first two.
That's wild. The two counters down. So look at this. Seeing Monty push up a big piece of this. If you're gonna see a shield for sure, this 2F site, this T karaoke with Monty pushing in the top of the black stairs, and exactly what we're seeing here. even that LATAM style of play, if you're going to see a Monty, that clubhouse and this skyscraper push, those are the two main places you would see it, even in standard NA play. So following a little bit of this guidebook, trying to find a way to push this defending team back, and aim to playing downstairs. Gonna take a shot from Monty. He's rotated himself down and just gets a wall bang with a minute 10 left in this round.
There wasn't nothing about it. He was running, the line ping went out, he was caught and shot, and that's exactly what happened. The body balance pushes into the favor of one of Goons here. It's a sit 4-3. Still holding the angle, waits for that jump in. It's going to be the upside down also here. Wreaking havoc. Ooh, sees some toes, but gets away with it. Focus on the web as we now get tied up 3-3.
Boy, you leave the Solus on the board. It's going to be impactful. Focal grabbing a double there. The 2 kills so far on the side of this defending team have managed to come from that Solus. Well,
window, waiting for it. Is going to get taken down. Monty getting active, drops down, but nothing is going to be had out of that gameplay as he finds a double to clean up the round. Wamai just being incredibly impactful.
That's right. Vil playing on one side of the shield, it traded with Monty, gave up the positioning though, able to get a kill, and then playing from behind the shield to put the pressure on the attackers as they were trying to push in at the top of those black stairs. SSG Acad grabbing their first on defense and looking pretty good in that round. And the Solus on the board just, like you called it out, being incredibly impactful. So a lot of changes coming for Solus in year 9. So we're going to see a few different changes relative to her gadget, but the most important, or maybe the biggest, not active during the prep phase.
Point out the presence of mind that manages, well, I guess what I had on the background. I mean, that was a 3-piece that was executed as it happened almost simultaneously. The jump in through the window, the shot backwards to find the Monty, who was just bobbing and weaving, and then the third to clean it up at the end.
10 seconds to go.
I mean, that was just such a huge heads up play by the
5 seconds left before insertion.
I sit here impressed, my friend.
Yeah. A great individual effort by Vil, but also on the back of having utility in the right place, that deployable exactly where they need it. But like you said, good presence of mind. And Focal continuing to hold that same window again. Gonna head up black stairs though, getting upstairs, maybe put a little bit of pressure here on the Monty. Is he, oh no, not gonna go up rappel for the window, but great to see that just being an absolute menace. Goon's gonna need to try and figure out how they counter the Solus.
Yeah, how indeed. Well, we're gonna see a fun set of operators on the board for the attacking team to try to do such a project. Floor is going to be help get rid of some of that extension util. Some of those lesions clearing the way forward for this Monty to start pushing in. He does have geisha control pretty early. Open up the single wall for the can opener. Really just some head holes or some sight lines being set up here. Warden lying in wait and Focal as well. Ooh, there we go. ADD off the board. Zolaris going to find himself a double.
Oh,
body bounce tips heavily in favor of Goose.
That's huge with Vil going down too as part of that double that he's able to get. But Solus going to be able to find one, get taken down though, but the damage done. The defender's down to 2 in a 2v4 scenario.
Yeah, 2v4, and one of those is Monty. Now gets cleaned up as that sniper shot. He can find the body of Zolaris, so he's going to be a menace no longer. Monty making his way into the long angle held. Well, you don't want to get called out by the shotgun here. Starting to push in. It's Warden taking the solo play against the Monty.
Oh, it almost exposed his head for a second. Jetcon not able to take advantage of it, but gonna continue to fight and see who is pushing up from behind the Monty. Gonna take a shot, not gonna work that time. Gonna take a couple more and lose the battle. Oh.
What Monty play here? We've seen this before. Oh my lord! We have seen some fabulous Monty play, but this in your face, not not caring. It's the full shield back down to the half shield, just always keeping that presence so that somebody can come up for that trade, or just like was done there in the last, you just handle it your dang self.
Wow. Yeah, like you said, Pandasaurus. That was fantastic play. Like you called it out from him. Wonder whether or not we saw Monty band out and played a lot during SI, and I continue to think that we'll see increased shield play as a result of all the shield reworks coming. Right? What was the big counter that this incredibly overpowered defense in Rainbow Six Siege needed was some more attacking power, and bringing it in the form of the shields. Seeing this Juan and Goons Academy trying to get themselves ready for that as they walk themselves up into the beginning here at year 9, just 2 weeks away.
10 seconds remaining.
Hey-o, let's go. Defense gonna run it back.
5 seconds left.
Bunch of similar operators on the board. I like the lead you call here to deal with that
Attacker's
Monty.
objective
Really
is to
trying to
defuse a
slow
bomb.
him down. Not much on the form of explosives, however. 2 impacts and 1 C4 to try to put behind him. Could be JetCon holding on to these back stairs this time.
Razor wire in position.
See Focal underneath to deal with some of that verticality potential for that playground. Where is the Monty coming from? The big question, where will that force be pressed in? 3-1. Great game inside of the 3rd round here.
I'm reloading!
Yeah, like you called it, you got JetCon continuing to hold this Shrine Drum hallway, one of the important bottlenecks for Skyscraper. But when you definitely want to get the Azami off the board, if you're at the Juan and Goons Academy, you cannot leave Fenrir on the board though for Skyscraper. The fact that you've got some of these narrow push points just makes Fenrir really an overpowered operator. So having him off, it's a tough trade to have the Solus on board. But I think Fenrir just would make this incredibly difficult for the attacking team. But like you called it out, Pandasaurus here on the Monty, continuing to push through Shrine, going to make his way down into Dragon. Some of that intel coming out. They've got one defender playing in that position, but Monty, the walking drone, calling it all out.
Yeah, and continuing to take real estate inch by inch by inch, as now they've got all of that back half of the map. Still taking shots long. Monty's going to be the smoke to ring out. Finds himself a bit of breathing room there amongst all 3 of the gases. We can find him there, but not for long.
Yeah, taking him down to 50 HP. That was huge. The Bees are finally going to be able to tag out where exactly he's playing at. But the rest of them not going into a position that's going to give any more intel here to this attacking team. So they are struggling to find control here in Dragon or get any more than that as they try and push down. So, and they've got to watch out for Focal here on the flank.
Yeah, already proven to be an absolute menace, sitting 4-1. Body count sitting in favor of nobody. Smoke is taken off the board with the trade. Going to find the Monty, and that's a huge pick who was so instrumental in the last round. JetCon taking some damage, but to find the kill, and Zolaris to find it on to JetCon. Now taking us into a 3v2. It's 20 seconds left, Whiskey, and now into a 3v1, into a 3v9 as the Devil going to claim it out. Bandit getting active.
That's right. Vil holding that power position in the office, just playing on the bomb chassis, watching for the jump in and the push from the other side from the attacking team. So SSG Acad goes up 2-1 in what continues to be a very close game between these two. If you're just joining us, we saw SSG Acad take the first 4-2 on Chalet, or 4-2. 4-2 half that turned into a 7-5 win.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Nice recovery. All right. Defense. Round rotate. Dundada. We're going to see it back up. To the T site. Back to the gate show hold. The one difference here being to opt for a little bit more intel, a little bit more of that brought on the board.
Why see yourself?
seconds
intel,
remaining.
you know, we're gonna see some crazy
5 seconds remaining.
combo moves here between potentially the Echo and the Solus as they work together to suss out
Attackers
where
are heading
the heck
out
these
to defuse a
attackers are
bomb.
gonna be pushing from. Shield on the board yet again. You're gonna see the form of Blitz this time instead of the Monty. A little bit more active, a little bit more dangerous.
I think when Goons was playing more aggressive, I think they were a little bit more successful. It's one of the things that we saw SSG Acad, I think, on Chalet was increase their level of aggressiveness, translated into round wins. So Pandasaurus bringing out the Blitz to make a little bit more pressure on the defense, I think is a good call. The only interesting thing is from the defense, they don't have a bandit. We've seen a lot of that push through the little makeup area in Geisha, so it's interesting that they don't have anyone playing Breach Denial in that area, so that might be a point we could see the attackers try and take advantage of. But right now, going a little bit direct here, getting into the office, Blitz rushing in, trying to claim some of this real estate for them.
They're doing a quick, fantastic job at it. Trying here is going to be impacts from below, but not going to do any damage onto anybody. Just trying to utilize some of that intel. Still have 4 ready to be utilized against this Blitz as he makes his way up onto the shield. Oh, stuck in the smoke. Going to take a little bit of damage as he breathes in some of those toxic fumes. And there's going to be the
Attacker's
Echo.
bomb diffuser has been dropped.
Already getting some
Attackers recovered the bomb
disorientation.
diffuser.
Nobody there to take the swing though.
Yeah, giving away the fact that they've got the Echo in place, but not able to find it, disoriented, just causing some damage. It's going to cause the attackers to have to watch out for those. Where are they positioned? Right now, know which room it's in now. But they're at the Bees pinging out some of this defense. They've got to get that shield down, though.
That's going to be the next step here. Blitz, he's coiled like a snake, ready to push in. Should he get the go-ahead, it is going to be off the back of the Candelas potentially. There's the Candela ringing out. They're going to start to push onto that shield. They're going to see Grim on the board as Focal. Yet again, finding that first kill, giving body balance in favor of SSG. Warden here to take that gunfight, but no match for the Blitz as he smacks him with his shield. Evening up that body count now takes us into a 4-4, 37 seconds. It's going to be Ace going down. The swing now puts us into a 4v2 as SSG is now up in the body count with 30 seconds left.
Oh, so close to be able to take the shots on the stairs. But he survives and pushes down, only losing a little bit of life. Webb going to try the rotate down and push, but going to lose the fight. Focal and Aimkey to clear up the end. That was unfortunate timing there. Looked like we saw Ying take the shots on the stairs. Didn't quite do the damage. Webb rotating down, hoping to catch him off guard, but the defenders just coming up with a couple lucky shots there, and the Goons could not find a kill there on the stairs.
Yep, and not in exactly the way that I had anticipated, but as you see, it did come down to the Echo and Solus cleaning it up. So the combo move was still there. I was half
Attackers
right.
need to locate and defuse bombs.
And that was we saw Solus Focal playing on the sort of the roof there in the drum shrine hallway, and able to drop down immediately after getting the kill. It was just good positioning. You don't typically see somebody playing sort of on that little decorative roof area, but it was great play, translating to round win. SSG Acad up 3-1 as we head into round 5. When we were talking about it in round 2 and 3, it was feeling very even, very balanced here. SSG Acad putting a little bit of distance here in a
Attackers'
3-1
objective is to
score.
locate a bomb and
Yeah,
defuse
well,
it.
if you ask those in the know, specifically Naj, our resident analyst, he'll tell you 5-1 is the expected half here defensively. So not, Academy kind of already having done their job as we speak about the standard split. A little bit different perspective. It wouldn't be unheard of to see us sit in a 5-1. I don't think that would be the case, but potentially. It has potential.
Loading the bank.
That's right, 5-1 halves. Okay, as we sit at 3-1, and we're gonna see Wanted Goons taking the first off the board. That's JetCon. That's the Frost. So not going to have her incredible gun to back up this team, but going to continue to have all of her traps down. And so this was what we were talking about earlier, the bandit playing in the makeup geisha area. So this time trying to hold that position and going to see whether or not that's going to be a difference maker here. We'll likely see the attackers try and push in and gain a little bit of that vertical control, but the smokes have all been going out very early in these rounds against the Monty. Been successful in taking off some of his health, but not really being used as Plantanile, being used as time wasting and a little bit of area denial.
All right, get active on the outside. Monty does make his way to the top of the black stair there, and he's in the corner starting to get some of that detail. We call him the walking drone because he's letting everybody know what's going on here. He's going to get across and set up, and Webb's going to start
Track sting is active.
getting some of that vertical, or some of that play from inside the bathroom here. All this being done up on the top floor, folks. We still have a first floor side.
There's that Legion Goo causing some damage on the stairs. Zolera's going to try and take a shot, but Aimkey holding on to that Geisha, going to clean him up. Great shot there. They're opening up some sight lines with Ace, but they still got to contend with the Legion playing downstairs, trying to hold on to some of these windows, but they definitely do not have enough control upstairs yet.
Push it in, and there's going to be the shots. Monty's not going to be able to do anything this time as he gets dropped down. Now takes us into a 3v2, a 3v1. The Pokeball to find one. Now it's all resting on the shoulders of Ace yet again. Got to find three. Just find one. Starts off the process. This is going to take Trevmac's dome piece off. They, of course, now know where it's at. 15 seconds. Now takes a
What a
1v1.
shot!
God, but it's the Legion Goose that's going to be slowing him down. 9 seconds left, and he's trying to run. He's not going to be able to get there, though, because he's up top. Not going to be able to.
Oh, Bandit! I can't believe he made the push. Even with the Legion Goo in his leg, there was no way that Ace was going to have enough time to be able to push up. I can't believe he took that added risk of vaulting down and getting so close to getting taken off the board. That would have been an absolute gift to the attacking team.
I'm going to go ahead and say that the running of Ace with a Legion Goo and the time counting down has hands down got to be one of the funniest things I've ever witnessed in Siege. He was really going for it.
Attackers need to
It was a
locate
valiant
and defuse
attempt
as many
too.
bombs as they can.
Oh man, great try by the attacking team. They're going to go down 4-1. So as we talked about, 5-1 being kind of that default split here on the defensive side. It's kind of be the round maker here. One of Goons the upper hand, potentially going into their defensive rounds, or is SSG going to hold on to some of the defaults? Win conditions here, Whiskey. What do you think? What does the Goons need to
10
put
seconds
together
left.
to claim a second round?
Well, and like you said, that would be going up more than
5
the
seconds
standard
left.
here for Skyscraper. If you can find more than
Spec you
one
active.
on attack. Taking
Attackers are
out
moving out to
Focal
locate a bomb
and
and
the
defuse it.
Solus, they've got to get her off the board early to be able to have a chance of getting some drone intel in place that hopefully can allow them to complete some of these pushes in, and hopefully keeping Monty alive longer. Right, when he stays alive longer, even if he's not one of the last alive in the round, if they're able to put enough pressure on this defensive team and get their players in position to win, those are 2 big points. But one of the interesting things that Naj pointed out from a coordination perspective is that, on these D2 teams, even it's rare we're seeing 5 players on both sides with all of the team tags in place. That means they've been together long enough that they've all got the same player tag, meaning well coordinated, and one of the reasons I think we're seeing a really close game.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. So, the first minute has ticked by as we start to establish some of that control up near that, or at least the presence up near that black stair area with the monster yet again. It is going to be Smoke. Get himself a bit of a run out. No, doesn't even need it. Swings the window and finds the ace off the board. Huge pick. now all I have to rely on is those can openers as Lars is brought to the table. He's going to start to get active with the candelas. Down the hallway. The aid of Monty.
That's right. Trying to find a way to make that happen, but a long shot there. Volspar going to take down Trev. That was a good pick. Boy, 3, 4, and 5. He was sitting. Tons of assists there. An impactful player, but again, got all of his gadgets out. So they've got the gridlock tracks out. And Aimkey, do they know that he's here behind half? Of course they do. There, Monty going to take him down in a melee combat with the shield. So being stuck in the corner, you could tell that he was getting a little worried about it.
Yep. Now takes us into a 3-3 here. The 8 Candela start to ring out again. They push up on the shield, getting this real estate for free as we have bunkered back down. Hoping to play a little bit on the trade game. Monty going to be the potential pivot point here. Keep him alive and active. There we go. 21 seconds left on the board. They do this overtaking hit coming up. Jetcon to find one. Now takes us into a 3v1 to a 3v9. SSG going to find that round win as well. It looked a little bit here on the standard side of the half, as we do see 5-1 on the split. So, Goons Academy, right, feels a little bit down in the numbers, but as we said, this is a very defensive-sided map, so they did their quota, they hit their job. We're going to go in and see what they're bringing to the defensive side now. And looky-loo, guess who? It's the Solus on the board
Attackers
for the
need to
opposite
locate
side as
and
well.
defuse
She's
as
not
many
banned
bombs
out.
as they can.
Whiskey, we're going to use her.
That's right. Solus, very impactful. It was that exactly as you predicted. 5-1 on that standard split here. And right, Solus going to make an appearance, plus the Warden, plus the Bandit. This is a very similar lineup. It's a great lineup to bring for this skyscraper map. And I think because you have Ying available, for sure, you're going to see the Warden played every time. And having the projectile deny from Mai, just trying to protect some of those defensive holds that they're going to use, potentially in Geisha, potentially in that top black area. And it looks like they've got that rotated off, and they're going to not go for the shield holding from the bomb site, but get themselves set up in the top of the hallway there by Shrine.
IET active!
On the board this evening is the Sen's gonna make their way out. And pick here. Oh man, Focal getting another kill, taking them up to 9-2, having a phenomenal game, and that is a huge pick, Whiskey. It's the Solus, the round winner, the clutch.
Deploying mobile activity
Board
control.
gone.
Yeah, we talked about Solus being off the board on the previous round as one of those win conditions, so they have managed to do that early on this SSG attacking side. So if they're able to go up to 6-1 on attack and get there first, that is going to put a ton of pressure on this Wanted Goons Academy team. They really cannot afford to go down early, even though it's 5-1. Boy, losing the second Mandosaurus going down. Some of those Womidus are going to stay in pocket, but get that tied up 3-3.
That's right. Fizz getting taken off the board. This all happens in the first minute of gameplay as we now find ourselves at 140.
Reloading! Cover me!
Going to find that kill on Trev.
Throwing frag!
All resting on the shoulder. Definitely players that can bring together a clutch round. So Goons Academy going to need that drop back exactly. They find the kill, and that's going to be
10 seconds to go. 5 seconds to go.
They start to mount the back line.
Tell you what, that surprised the heck out of me. I was thinking we were not going to see that. We're going to see SSG Acad go up early on that 6-1, but Wanted Goons turned it around, found a way there to win, put the pressure on SSG exactly the way they needed to, evened up the body count, and now as they head to that 2F exhibition office, gonna try and hold on here, but that was important. I think if they had gone down early
Attackers need to locate and
on
defuse
that
as many
on
bombs
that
as they can.
6-1, a little bit of mental problem, but also would allow the attacking team to be significantly more aggressive, and I think a little bit more inventive, or could take a few more chances from that perspective. So the fact that the Goons were able to turn that one around and win really is more help than just a single round shows.
Two. We're in round number 8. That's going to bring us to slow down. So Legion going to be on the board, and it's back to that half split, or split in half breach. When the
5
barricade
seconds
one,
remaining.
leave the other open, really just making it difficult to
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
especially as you leave yourself open for impacts. Charges on the board. It's the run out set up, but not kept open. It's a bit too dangerous on the single wall. Took the shot, didn't find anything. Mirror gonna rest easy behind the bar.
So JetCon trying to find his way in and taking a couple of shots. They've got looking for a little bit of this control downstairs, but got two
Bomb
defenders.
located
Look
by
like they're
attackers.
playing there on the house stairs, but Brava banned out on Chalet, making an appearance here on Sky for this SSG attacking side. I wonder whether or not that was part of the ban on Chalet target.
Clear the forest area.
So we do sit 5-5 as that first minute has already started to wind down. You know, and I love the Bravo play too. We get that late round potentially of having stolen Malusi, and you don't know it just yet. Defend against your own captain. Super funny. You will see on the side of the attackers, so it's towards that intel side is Grim going to become focal point for which we've seen on both sides of the board. He's really starting to make a name for himself. Reloading. Finds their minute 24 left on the board, and it's going to have to deal with this board.
Changing mag.
Yeah, JetCon was an absolute menace on Chalet. Hasn't found some of that same success. But here on attack, trying to find it. Boy, talked about him, and he delivers, grabbing a double here on this round 8, but it's going to go down. Found his quarter, though. It's 3-3. We've got a minute left to try and find this attacking team pushing their way in. They've got some of this wall open. The mirror's down. Got the bees coming out, gaining some of this intel on where the defenders can play. Trev finding room here inside in the office.
Just holding into sight, both are gonna find it on the left. Now C4 rings out. It's down to a 2v1. All on the shoulders of Bandit takes some damage. It's the jiggle peek, but shot from the back. Is Trev Mack gonna clean that one up? The Brava, baby. Out.
Yeah, and plus the bees, it was just made it really difficult for the Wanna Goons to operate from a defensive perspective when the attackers know exactly where you are. And now we find ourselves on match point. And if you are just joining us, potentially the end of what has been a very good game so far between the SSG Academy and the Wanted Goons Academy. In this best of 3, we saw SSG take Chalet 7-5 to win it.
Attackers need to
This
locate
best
and
of 2,
defuse as many bombs as
Skyscraper
they
is the
can.
second. So SSG Acad on match point, series points, and quarterfinal points as they would advance to the semis in the Wild Goose Chase League.
Attackers have
On
located a
the
bomb.
line here, one to move forward and one to take that proverbial bus ride home. The defense says run it back, fully confident in the operators that they brought inside. Again, I think you're going to see a bit of the same here on the side of the last round didn't count. Run it back on both sides of the board. Big fan. What you're seeing there, folks, we're looking
5
at the
seconds remaining.
put on the side of the door in case didn't quite pick up on it. They've got themselves a bit
Attackers
of
are
a
heading out to
radius
defuse
as
the
well,
bomb.
so you put
Activated device.
off to the side. Doors still
Moving mag.
concealed.
Reload.
Yeah, I don't think that There was some people finding out about that sort of area of effect there, but Bill bringing out the Ash. This is an interesting one that we did not see Ash played hardly at all. I don't think any rounds picked up on Chalet and very few here on Sky, even though she has been such an effective counter to the Mira. So Pandasaurus bringing the Mira out, and hopefully going to be able to use this the Ash as a little bit of a counter to her. But like we said, maybe not their typical play, but they can afford to take a few chances here in a 6-2 match point scenario. They don't have to be perfect from the attacking side. They can take some chances, change the lineup up, try and see what is going to work better against this Goons Academy. They've got 4 to play with, so I like the fact that they're trying something that they didn't show in any of the previous rounds.
Does get sussed out on the house. Bandit gonna rotate up. Find himself a little bit of relative safety from the high ground here. Is going to be Grim getting active with the bees again. And he's trying to take them into sight, and that's going to be a huge kill. Is Bill going to find Zolaris off the board? His dome is now missing. It's going to start some of that verticality from below.
Nice shot coming out in chat as we are potentially into the last minute and a half of this game. Aim key taking down Pandasaurus. That was huge. Jetcon just opening up the floor and going to take out the next. And it is a 5-1 halt down to Webb. He's got to try and find his way across this map. The plant going down, and he's got to break his way through a barricade. For sure, this defensive team's going to know where he's at. And now the timer is on. He's got just 40 seconds left. He's going to find a double, but he's going to have to try and find all of them to win it. And Trev going to finish him off, getting that final kill. And this best of 3, nice job. Congratulations to the SSG Acad team winning that one 7-2, my friend.
No kidding. It's a pretty dominant performance by the SSG Acad team. It was a best of 3 that only needed 2. So unfortunately, that's it for Siege, for me and you. You know it's true. Why? Because it rhymes.
Because it rhymes, my friend. That's right. So once again, just want to thank everybody for coming by. This was and continues to be a charity stream for the admins of the old ZCL League who are putting on the Wild Goose Chase to finish out that $1,500 prize pool league in play. So prize pool reestablished. We want the players to be able to play, figure out who is going to win this one. So as we roll through the playoffs, quarterfinal game, the semis and grand finals coming up, we're definitely going to look for time and check Twitter for when those are going to be coming out. So I think that's it for us, my friend.
Yep, just want to say a huge shout out to the Wild Goose Chase. It's obviously been a pleasure working with it so far. And of course, observation tonight, Nomical just catching every single kill on the board that we could get our hands a hold of. Really making it a lot easier for our job. So thank you so much. Goated in the game. And you're right, Whiskey. We have reached the end of the evening, which means, alas, we must bid you adieu. So as the lights begin to dim and the jukebox starts to sing closing time, as always, my friends, you don't have to go home.
But you can't stay here.
Heyo.
Let's go.